Oh, good for them. That's cool. I don't. Okay. How'd you know? Okay. DK. Donkey. Oh my god. Okay, that's a good. I don't think you're allowed to have this is a kid's game. Yeah, of course Einstein. The poor crow. Why would you do that? You're just being a douchebag. This con has a funny face.
Okay. This time, he's in the mood.
Good for him. He was very upset the last time I saw him. And then there's Chunky. He's
here for you. It's the last member of the DK crew.
He's alive?
I feel really betrayed right now. For the longest time, I have believed that this monkey has been dead for several years, only for it to be a lie, that we all fell for a hook, line, and sinker. He was an idol to all of us, and I can't believe he'd throw that away for some internet stardom. I told my cat about this. He's pretty bummed out too. He was his biggest fan. I sat out and thought about it for a bit, like the entire situation. And I do not believe what he did was right. And I don't want to be associated with him anymore. Although it is Chunky Con, so even if he committed 27 house fires in the span of 5 minutes, he's still going to be everyone's favorite funky-looking monkey. Yeah, I said it.
Walnuts, peanuts, pineapple smells, grapes, melons, oranges, and coconut shells. Oh yeah.
Walnuts, peanuts, pineapple shells. Oh hey, didn't see you there. So ever since I got this Donkey Kong pin, I've been doing nothing but staying home and doing Donkey Kong related things because, you know, it's Donkey Kong. How can I not do Donkey Kong related things? It's Donkey Kong. My school has emailed me and said, hey, you need to do work because you are smart. I don't know if they realize, but I'm a stupid idiot who lives in a basement, so yeah, that's a no for me. I mean, just look at him. It's Donkey Kong. He's Donkey Kong. And because we're talking about Donkey Kong, let's talk about his first ever game. Let's pretend that this is the box and not a card.
Donkey Kong is one of the most popular video game characters of all time, dating all the way back in 1981 with the game with the same name. This was one of the most popular arcade games back in the day, and it helped bring Nintendo up from being a small little company to a big boy company. The game later came out on the NES, which is the version that we're going to talk about today because I don't have an arcade cabinet with me. I can't drive. If I drive, then I have to like go to court, and I already have to like go to Chunky's court case, so I'm not going to court again. Now let's talk about the game that started it all. That's not a donkey. Donkey Kong is in fact not a donkey, but a gorilla. His name is full of deceptions. This guy has a few barrels he throws at... Wait. I feel like I recognize that person somewhere. Before Bowser even existed, Mario's original rival was Donkey Kong, and instead of Peach, he saved Pauline. Yeah, that's right, that person existed before Odyssey, you 5-year-olds. I'm sorry. The goal of the game is to reach the end of the stage by climbing up a bunch of scaffolding and ladders, dodging barrels and enemies, to get to Pauline. There are 3 levels you need to beat, at least in the NES version, and once you beat all of them, you can save Pauline and defeat that monkey. It's a very simple game, and really easy too. You saw nothing. Now let's talk about each of the stages more in depth. The first one is the most iconic stage of the three. Donkey Kong is throwing a bunch of barrels at you and you need to hop over them. There's also a hammer. Hammers let you destroy any object or enemy in your way. The next level is most famous for being the worst Super Smash Bros. Map. There's a lot more platforming that you're going to need to do to get to the top. And instead of barrels, there are springs that get fired. They go in the same space every time, but you better be careful. Then the final level is the most interesting one. They changed the scaffolding from a purplish reddish to a blue. The goal on this level is to climb the scaffolding and destroy yellow bolts on the ground to make the monkey fall to his demise and save Pauline. Man, I'm sure this one murder isn't gonna lead Mario on a dark path of murder. I'm not funny. After that, the game loops itself numerous times, which brings me to my next point. The modes. There are two modes. A mode and a B mode. The A mode has you start on easier versions of the levels, but once you complete one loop, you go on to harder versions. Speaking of which, that's what the B mode is. You jump straight into the harder ones immediately. There's also two-player modes for both of those modes. In two-player mode, the other person gets to control Green Mario to also defeat the monkey. Man, I can't believe this monkey is impersonating a donkey. I guess that's another court case I have to go to. Like I said earlier, this is an arcade game originally, and I have played it before, but I haven't really got too far in it. And the only real thing different about the arcade version is that it has another level which honestly looks a lot cooler than the rest of the levels. It has like yellow scaffolding, and that's cool. It also has a few cutscenes and just looks better overall. This game sparked a franchise of like 15 games. Meanwhile, the spin-off gets like 100 or so. Mario's a douche. And that's pretty much the game. But I would like to tell a little story about some lawsuit. One day, Universal discovered that this game existed, and because their character is King Kong and shares the same four-letter word being Kong, they decided to sue them. Guys, he's not a gorilla, he's a donkey. Now he's a donkey. Luckily for Nintendo, they had a great lawyer, John Kirby, who said they can't copyright that word and that's stupid. So Nintendo won the case, and John Kirby's reward was a boat. And also one of my favorite video game series of all time, so it's a win-win for everyone. The only positive thing I can think of if they lost the lawsuit was this game probably wouldn't exist. You know, you win some, you lose some.